Yes, good morning, students. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Hope all of you have done the first internals well. I have not checked your scripts. So once I get the valuation, I'm just sending the marks to you. So here, with that, we have completed the module one. So here next, we'll move on to the module two. So here in the module two, so you are going to discuss about multiple random variables. So whatever the concepts that we have studied for a single random variable, so here we are going to cover all those or that will be extended for the multiple random variables. So here in this multiple random variables, we'll be considering only the two variable and some cases we'll be using more than two variable examples. So here whatever the concepts that we have studied for a single random variable, the same concepts that will be extended here. Along with that, we are also extending the topic up to the sum of two independent random variables and the central limit theorem. And we'll be discussing some exercise problems with respect to some random variables such as chi-square, student t random variable, Cauchy random variable, and Rayleigh random variable. So all these topics we are going to cover in the module 2. So here first we'll start with the introduction for the module 2, so which is multiple random variables. So here whenever we'll be discussing the multiple random variables, we need to keep two features in our mind. The first one is we had to consider the mathematical aspect, and the other one is the application oriented. So when you come to the mathematical aspect, so here it has to do with the logical consistency as the number of random variable increases from 1 to any integer greater than 1. It means, so whatever the equations that we use to write for the single random variable, so that is going to be logically modified for the random variable more than one. And for example, so here we have seen that the CDF for a single random variable, it is defined by the equation fx of x is equal to probability of x less than or equal to x. So this we used to write for the single random variable. So when we go for the two random variable, so for example, if we consider the random variable x and y, in such case, so that will be considered as the bivariate. So bivariate in the sense two variables. So here for these random variables, we can define the bivariate cumulative distribution function or CDF defined by the equation fxy of x comma y is equal to probability of x less than or equal to x intersection y less than or equal to y. So here you can see that we are using intersection symbol. So here whenever you will be discussing for the random variable more than one, so you need to know how mathematically it is going to be changed. And once this pattern is familiar for you, so then we can also write the same equation for the multivariate CDF. For example, we can consider the multivariate CDF for the order n. So in that case, so this same equation, it can be rewritten as fxy instead of xy. Here we'll be writing fx1, x2, x3, x up to xn in bracket. Once again, small independent variables x1 comma x2 comma up to xn you'll be writing, which will be given as probability of x1 less than or equal to x1 intersection x2 less than or equal to x2 intersection x3 less than or equal to x3 intersection x4 less than or equal to x4 and so on. So here like that you are going to rewrite the equation. So here you can see that. So here for multivariate CDF of the order n, so this is how you are going to logically write the equation. So this is the mathematical aspect. So when we come to the application oriented feature, so here we need to consider the concept called as the correlation. So here once we have the two random variables, So we need to allow them to be related in some non-deterministic fashion. So here, in some way, one variable it has to be related with the another variable. So here, in the case of bivariate case, so bivariate case in the sense will be considering two random variable x and y. So here we can treat those random variables in pairs as within the bracket x comma y. So for example, if we assume we are going to record n observations for the random variables x and y, we will be having n pairs of data which can be written within the bracket small xi comma yi, where I takes the value 1 to n. So here n represents the number of outcomes or the observations that we are going to record. Suppose if these data are going to be plotted, so here they may appear like this. So here whatever the diagram you are going to see here, suppose if you record the n observations and if you are going to plot that, so here you it may appear like these three diagrams. So here we can imagine a straight line which is centered through the data, and the sign of this slope which it is going to signify the correlation. Suppose if it is positive, it may be positive or negative, or it may be zero. So here if it is positive, so it indicates that the whatever the variable observations we have recorded, they are going to be matched more familiar. If they are negative, it indicates that they are not correlating with each other. If it is zero, it will be neutral. So like that it will be helpful for us to analyze the observations that we have recorded for the two variables. So here when we come to the application oriented, then we need to consider the concept correlation that we are going to study in the upcoming chapters. So next we'll start with the topic with the bivariate cumulative and density function. So here when we have two random variables which are considered at once, so here that will be called as the bivariate random variables. And whenever this bivariate random variable they are going to occur, so for example, if we apply the input to a system at a time t1, and that will be considered as the random variable x, and the output from the system at time t2 is a random variable y. And also there are some situations where the where we are going to consider the channel. So here whenever you'll be passing or transmitting the information, so here through that channel we'll be having the message as well as the noise. So in message it will be considered as one variable x, and the noise is considered as another variable y. So here we will be having two variables x and y. So here that is also considered as one more example. So here we are going to discuss, we are going to see the equation for the bivariate cumulative distribution function. So in whatever the equation that we have seen, that is fxy of x comma y is equal to p of x less than x intersection y less than or equal to y. So this is going to define the bivariate cumulative distribution function, or simply as I told it will be called as the bivariate CDF, which is represented as fxy of x comma y. So here we can visualize the observations of the random variable x and y as the points on the xy plane. So here that you are going to see here in this diagram. So here in this diagram, so here we are going to consider the bivariate CDF which is going to be evaluated at the point x comma y, and this is in the first figure. So here you can see that we are considering a point x comma y. So at this point we will be evaluating the bivariate CDF. And in the second example, or in the second diagram, you can see that the bivariate CDF, it is going to be once again evaluated at x plus dx comma y plus dy. So here at this point we are going to evaluate the bivariate CDF. And here with this we can also evaluate the difference between the two bivariate CDF, and that difference it can be represented by dp, which is given by fxy of x plus dx comma y plus dy. So this is nothing but the CDF which is calculated at the uh, incremental values of x and y, that is x plus dx and y plus dy, minus fxy of x comma y. So here this is further expressed in terms of the differential, that is dou by dou x of fxy of x comma y, which is differentiated with respect to x, plus dou by dou y of fxy of x comma y with respect to y. So here dx and dy they are assumed to be positive, and here With this assumption, we can also say that the bivariate CDF, it must be non-decreasing in both x as well as y direction. And also from this for this bivariate cumulative distribution function, we can um, derive some properties. So we can consider some special cases. So here one special case is, so we can consider the random variable x less than or equal to minus infinity. So whenever you will be considering x less than or equal to minus infinity, so this will be considered as the impossible event, which is represented as phi. So whenever this is going to happen, so whatever the equation that we have written for the bivariate CDF, that is fxy of x comma y, so that can be rewritten as fxy of, so here x takes the value minus infinity, so here fxy of minus infinity comma y, so it can be written as probability of, so here x is replaced by 5 because as it is a impossible event, so here we can write p of phi intersection y less than or equal to y. So here as we know, phi intersection with any other random variable, it is nothing but a null event. So here the probability of null event, it will be always equal to 0. So here we can see the special case whenever x is less than or equal to minus infinity, then the bivariate CDF fxy of minus infinity comma y, it will be resulting in the value 0. Similarly, when y is less than or equal to minus infinity, that also becomes an impossible event. So here we can write fxy of x comma minus infinity also 0. And similarly, when x and y both takes the value minus infinity, that will also resulting in the value 0. So this is one of the property. Whenever you will be given the problem like this, so with the value minus infinity, then directly you can mention the answer as 0. And another special case is whenever you will be considering x less than or equal to plus infinity. So here you can observe the difference. So here we have considered the minus value. So here we are going to consider x with the less than or equal to plus infinity. So here whenever you will be considering this case, so it proves that, or it assumes to be a certain event which will be resulting in the sample space S, and it is valid for any y on the xy plane. So here the bivariate CDF equation, it can be written as fxy of, so x is replaced by infinity. So here we can write fxy of infinity comma y is equal to probability of, as we have said, so x less than or equal to plus infinity, it is nothing but a certain event. So here we are going to replace it by sample space S. So which is intersected with y less than or equal to y. So which is nothing but, so it will be resulting in probability of y less than or equal to y, which is b equal to fy of y. So here whenever we have the equation fxy of infinity comma y, so it will be simply equal to the CDF of a variable y, that is we can write fy of y. Similarly, when y is less than or equal to plus infinity, what we can write fxy of x comma infinity is equal to the CDF fx of x. So when we consider, so x and y both are plus infinity, so simply we can say that fxy of infinity comma infinity, it is a certain event which is going to take the value 1. And whatever the answer we have obtained, fx of x and fy of y, so these CDF, they will be considered as the marginal CDF. So they are called as the marginal CDF. So whenever you ask the problem to calculate the marginal CDF, it means that we need to make use of this equation, that is x less than or equal to plus infinity and y less than or equal to plus infinity. So for which you will be asked to calculate the CDF fy of y and fx of x. And the next one is bivariate probability density function. That is nothing but the bivariate PDF. So here bivariate PDF, it is defined by the equation fxy of x comma y is equal to dou square by dou x into dou y fxy of x comma y. So here for single random variable, we have seen fx of x is equal to dou by d by dx of fx of x we used to write. Similarly, mathematically, it is going to be written as fxy of x comma y is equal to dou square by dou x into dou y of fxy of x comma y. And here for this, we can also list some properties. So here the PDF, bivariate PDF, fxy of x comma y, always it is greater than or equal to 0. And for which x and y, lies between minus infinity to plus infinity. So you just observe that for any PDF, always the values will be non-negative. And also here, the second one is the CDF fxy of x comma y. It is nothing but the integration of the PDF. So here we can write in double integration fxy of u comma v into du into dv. So here we can write the integral ranges as minus infinity up to the value y and minus infinity up to the value x. So here within this range, you can calculate the bivariate CDF with the help of the bivariate PDF value. And also here one more third property is that, so here when the independent variable x and y takes the value infinity, in that case the CDF it can be written as fxy of infinity comma infinity is equal to double integration with the integral range minus infinity up to plus infinity fxy of x comma y dx into dy, it is equal to the certain event which takes the value 1. And for this we can also take one example in order to get some more equations which will help us to solve some problems. So here we can consider a differential area. So here differential area, it is denoted as dA, which is taken as the product of the differential width and height dx and dy. So in that case it can be represented using this diagram. So here we are going to consider the rectangular area which you can see here. So here this area it is going to be considered as the differential area which is taken as a product of two differential width and height. So here you can consider the x-axis as well as the y-axis. Here on the x-axis you can see that we have taken a small width which is ranging from x up to x plus dx. So for example, if x is 3 and this 3 if it is differentially incremented by a small amount. So for example, you can say if it is incremented by 0.2, so here the next point will be 3.2. So here one point will be 3 and another point will be 3.2. So here when you take the difference, so here the width of this will be 3.2 minus 3, which will be equal to zero point 0.2. So since the area width will be very small, so here it will be considered as the differential width. So here similarly we can give the explanation for the y variable also. So here whenever we'll be considering such area, so here the probability of an observation in this area dA can be done. So here for such area we have to follow some certain method. So here in the first case, so here we can find a probability of a bivariate observation which occurs in the strip of width dx, which is extending from minus infinity up to y plus dy. So here as you can see that, so here on the y-axis, so here we have taken the strip from only this much. So here we may ask to find the probability of a bivariate observation which occurs along this strip of, with a width dx which is extending from minus infinity up to the width y plus dy. So in that case we can write a bivariate CDF as fxy of x plus dx up to y plus dy minus fxy of x up to y plus dy, which is given as double integration with the integral range x up to x plus dx. This is fixed, and the second integral it will take the value minus infinity up to y plus dy, and within the integral we will be writing fxy of u comma v du dv. That is whatever the PDF that will be given, that is going to be substituted. And similarly we can perform the similar calculation for the strip of the same width dx, but in this case we are going to consider the range which is extending from minus infinity up to plus y. So in the previous case we have considered the width extending from minus infinity up to y plus dy, but here we are going to consider the extension from minus infinity up to plus y. So in that case, so we can write the equation as fxy of x plus dx up to y So here you can make the differentiation. So here in the previous case we have considered from x plus dx up to y plus dy. Since here we have in the second case we are considering only up to y. So here this equation is going to be logically changed. So here we will be writing fxy of x plus dx up to y comma y minus fxy of x comma y, which is equal to double integration with the range x up to x plus dx. This is not going to change because the width remains same along the x axis. So here for the second integral, the integral ranges changes from minus infinity to y plus dy as minus infinity up to y. So into within the integral we'll be writing fxy of u comma v into du dv. And the probability in the differential area dA, which is equal to dx into dy, so it can be taken as the difference between the two results. So whatever these equations you have obtained, so using this equation, if you take the difference, so that will give the differential probability of the differential area dA. So here that can be written as probability of x comma y belongs to dA, which is obtained as double integration x up to x plus dx and y up to y plus dy. So here we'll be, as I told, we'll be considering only this much of the strip. So here which will be taking the values from y to y plus dy as well as x to x plus dx. So only for these marginal values we'll be calculating the probability of the differential area. So that will be given as fxy of x comma y into dx comma dx into dy. And suppose if the differential area, if it is extended in the larger region, so in that case, we can write probability of x comma y belongs to R, which is equal to double integration R fxy of x comma y dx into dy, where R is nothing but some arbitrary region which is defined by the independent variables x and y. So for this, we are going to take one example. So here we can consider this example. So we are given the CDF, bivariate CDF, fxy of x comma y as the probability of the bivariate observation occurring in the quarter plane to the left of and below the point x comma y, which is as shown in this figure. The For this, the bivariate, and also it is mentioned that the bivariate PDF is 0 everywhere outside this unit square, with the corners at 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1 as well as 1, 0, which implies that fxy is equal to, that is the bivariate PDF, it takes the value 1. So for xy lying between 0 to 1, that is within this square, the value which will be equal to 1. And for other values of x and y, it takes the value 0. So given this example, we are asked to examine the bivariate CDF in 5 different regions in the xy plane, and we are going to summarize the results that are obtained. So here we are going to consider all the cases one by one. So here the problem is simple. The unit square is given, which is defined by these coordinate values. So within this square, the PDF value is 1, and we are asked to calculate the CDF value outside this square, including all the cases. So here we are going to consider the first case. So when x comma y is to the left of the y axis or below the x axis. So here in this diagram you can see that we have x and y axis. To the left of y axis means, so we are going to consider the negative y axis. Whatever we have this region outside the square, considering this region, and also below the x axis. Below the x axis in the sense towards the negative y-axis. So here you can see that in this the PDF is not defined. So here when PDF is 0, obviously the CDF is also 0. So here we can write the bivariate CDF value as 0 for the first case. So in the first case, we are going to consider the area of the points x comma y to the left of the y-axis and also to the below x-axis. So for that, the CDF value is 0. And in the second case, we are going to consider x comma y to the right of x is equal to 1. So here we have x is equal to 1. So here to the right of this, we are going to considering the area, and also we are going to consider the area for y is equal to 1, for above y is equal to 1. So here you can see that on the y axis y takes the value 1 at this point. So here we are going to consider the area above y is equal to 1. So here when we consider this, when to the right side of this x as well as y axis, so here the bivariate CDF is always takes the value 1, because if you see the equation, what 3.11, that is as you see the equation, fxy of x comma y is equal to a double integral minus infinity up to x, and integration minus infinity up to x, it will be taking the value 1. That is the second case. When you consider the x comma y to the right of x is equal to 1 and above y is equal to 1, the bivariate CDF is value 1. And in the third case, we are going to consider the point x comma y within the strip, or is in the strip y greater than 1, and where x takes the value between 0 to 1. So here it means that you are going to consider, so x within the range 0 to 1 and y greater than 1. So in that case, what would be the CDF? So here in that case, we can write the equation, the CDF as fxy of x comma y is equal to integral. So here since y is greater than 1, we cannot consider the range y greater than 1. So because whatever the unit that is given, so it takes the value of y only between 0 to 1. Only this much area we can consider. So here we are going to substitute the integral range as 0 to 1 for the y variable, and similarly for the second integral where we want to substitute the x value. So here since x is lying between 0 to 1, so it will be continuously keep varying. So here we have to write 0 to x. So you should not write 0 to 1, as x is continuously keep varying. So you need to substitute the integral range as 0 to x. And within the integration, so we have du into dy. So here integrating du, so we will be getting u with the limit 0 to x that you need to substitute, along with we have to integrate y. So here the integration of 1 with respect to y is y with the limit 0 to 1. So when you substitute the limit 0 to 1, it will be resulting in the value 1, and into x, that will be resulting in the value x. Similarly, then the fourth case is we are going to consider x greater than 1 and y between 0 to 1. So here the same equation, only the change in the integral values. So here the y, it will be taking the range 0 to y, as it is continuously varying, and x, it will be considering the region only from 0 to 1, so not greater than 1, because outside 1 we have the value 0. So here substitute the integral range as 0 to 1. So here integrating this, will be getting the value y. And the last case is, so when x and y is the unit square, so where x and y lying between 0 to 1, in that case, so fxy of x comma y, it will be written as double integration with the integral range 0 to x and 0 to y. So you should not substitute 0 to 1 for both the cases, because x and y both are varying continuously from 0 to 1. So here it will be keep changing. So in general, we will be writing 0 to x and 0 to y du into dv. So integrating this, we will be getting the value xy. Suppose if x is taking the value 0.2 and y is taking the value 0.3. So it is simply equal to the product of two variables, that is 0.2 into 0.3, that will be equal to 0.06. So like that you need to analyze. So here this is the diagram which shows all the cases. So here whatever the first case that we have considered to the right of, to the left of y axis and below the x axis. So here the region is not covered by this unit. So here the CDF is 0, and here for y is equal to 1 and x is equal to 1. So this is the sample space that is going to occur certainly. So for which the value is 1. And other three cases will be considering within the strip with the various values of x. And the second example we are going to solve in the next class.